Welcome to Creative Broadcasting, the station of unlimited possibilities, presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Ashley Little. A little bit about myself: corporate professional by day, entrepreneur by night, 5-time best-selling author, CEO and founder of Ashley Little Enterprises, and co-founder and owner of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP. Tonight, we have some amazing special guests by the amazing project of the Health Coach and Anthology. These authors are amazing. They are bestsellers, and I'm excited to have them at the table tonight to share their amazing stories with my amazing listeners. So first, we're going to introduce each author, and then we're going to hear from our visionary author, Dr. Marcy Ross, first. So we have our visionary author, Dr. Marcy Ross, our contributing author, Ashley Murdoch, contributing author, Debbie Carter, contributing author, Jody Jordan, contributing author, Dr. Latina F. Thomas, contributing author, Coach Melanie McLean, contributing author, Dr. Michelle V. Knight, contributing author, Stacey Brass. Now we're going to hear from our amazing visionary who brought all of these special women together to share their stories, the amazing Dr. Marcy Ross.
Hey there, Ashley. Hey, everybody. I am Dr. Marcy, and I am so excited to have a seat at the table with Ashley Little. I am the visionary behind the Health Coach Collective, and these 10 amazing women have come together to give you these powerful tips to help inspire and empower you to live healthy and happy. And from our perspective, this anthology is not just for women, it's for men, women, and children. We really want to change the dynamic and the paradigm behind so much unhealth and unhappiness in so many people that we've spoken to. And so we've come together to give these powerful tips to help you implement them in your life today. Nothing complicated, really these simple tips to help you be consistent, to help you show up for yourself every day. And so I'm so excited to just have these women say yes to themselves, say yes to me, and so that they can then serve you. This is all about putting us in a posture of service, because we know that when you're in a posture of service and you show up in that mindset, great things happen. And we know that great things are going to happen when you read this book. So be sure to pick up a copy, and I cannot wait to have you listen to all these amazing, dope women who have just come together to share their stories and to give you these tips. Ashley, thank you so much. We so appreciate you seeing the beauty in this project and inviting us into the room with you. So thank you so much for this.
You are welcome, Dr. Marcy, and I'm sure everybody on the phone knows that you're an amazing person. You're doing great things, and I'm sure every lady that's in this book is excited to have you as leading this book with your amazing vision. So thank you.
Yay! I can't wait till you talk to them. They're amazing.
So next we have our contributing author, Ashley Murdoch.
Hello. So hi, everyone. My name is Ashley Murdoch. I am a health coach and a vision board expert and the CEO and founder of Successful in Pink. I help women develop healthy habits to achieve a healthy lifestyle. A lot of that comes from shifting from a diet mentality where you're looking for that quick fix, where you limit yourself, to a healthy lifestyle mentality that leads to lasting change. I work on also helping women improve their relationship with food and themselves and to practice self-love and self-care. So all of those things that I do, I put into the book, and I'm just super excited to be here and to share my story and to share this platform with these amazing women.
Well, I'm excited to have you on the show, Ashley, and I can't wait to hear your amazing story. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Next, we have contributing author Debbie LaShawn.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi. My name is Debbie Carter. I do business as Debbie LaShawn. I'm a certified life coach here in Richmond, Virginia, and also the founder and director of a nonprofit organization called To Live Daily. Part of my assignment in life and my role is to help women recover whole from divorce or other traumatic losses that they experience. My part of the book was discussing my journey of self-discovery as I dealt with divorce and what it is that I needed to do to recover whole and complete. And now that's the journey that I take other women on. So excited to share my story in the book.
Well, I'm excited to have you at the table, Dr. LaShawn, and I can't wait to hear more about your chapter. So super congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
You are welcome. So next we have contributing author Jody Jordan, who's going to introduce herself as well.
Hi, Ashley. Hi, everybody. It's Jody Jordan. I am a physician assistant and clinical aromatherapist, along with an integrative nutrition health coach, which is where I met the wonderful Dr. Marcy Ross. My chapter was called Beat the Belly Blues, and I am founder of Jody's Wellness Ways. I'm a physician assistant focusing in gastroenterology and liver disease, so I do a lot of gut health and preaching about the helping patients with the mind-gut connection. So my chapter was about focusing on stress and how that can affect the GI tract. And I had a lot of fun writing the chapter. I included some self-care tips and an aromatherapy recipe to help with IBS and to kind of help the readers who might be stressed out and as they go through life. So I struggled with some childhood obesity, and my chapter was a little bit of dealing with that and the focus on food. So I think as I heard all the other stories this week, a lot of us have some things in common, and it's been a wonderful team, and I was happy to be a part of everything. So I appreciate you having us on this show. Thanks, Ashley.
You are welcome, Jody, and I can't not wait to hear more about your amazing story as well, and super congratulations to you.
Thanks.
You are welcome.
Did you hear that she wrote a recipe for that has the? Yeah, I feel like we don't want to just gloss over there. There's actually a recipe in there that really for essential oils. That's an area of expertise for Jody. So she offered this amazing recipe to help you with bloating or help you with calming down your intestines, or if you're having any issues with your gut. She gave a recipe in there, which is phenomenal. And she also offers her information so that if you need any help, she's there to support you. Very, very good. I'm very excited about this part.
Yes, that is amazing. So congratulations, Jody. That is awesome.
Thanks, Ashley.
Awesome. We definitely have to talk more about that, Dr. Marcy, when she talks about her story.
Yes, we like our essential oils. So
yes, love it. So next we have the amazing Dr. Latina Epps Thomas.
Well, hello, Ashley. Thank you. This is exciting. I'm so excited to be on this platform with all these amazing ladies. I am a naturopathic doctor. I'm also the founder and CEO of Authentically Living Natural Health and Wellness. I do a lot of concierge telehealth for various clients throughout the country, and I speak for different corporate companies. I'm a health and wellness educator, and I've written several articles for alternative magazines. My chapter, Authentically Living Natural, really talks about my journey of living that what kind of looked like a really charmed life on the outside, but in reality, I was really killing myself. And it's really my journey of unhealthy eating habits, unhealthy life choices, and to how I learned how to really truly love myself, and that journey that I took. I was very emotional writing it. It's a vulnerable kind of a thing going on here. But in the process of it, it really helped me realize that, you know what, if anything that my story can do to help somebody else, then it was absolutely completely worth it. And I give lots of tips and ideas and guidance as to how others can do the same thing, turning from just verbally saying, I love myself, to actually loving yourself. You know, there's a big difference.
Yeah. I love that, Dr. Latina. I can't wait to hear more about your story, and congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Yes. Next, we have contributing author Anneka Marie Davis. Is she on mute, maybe? Anneka Marie Davis? No? Okay. All right. We have Coach Melanie next, who's going to introduce herself.
Hello, and thanks for having us. I'm Coach Melody with Unwrap You, and I have my title of the chapter is Releasing the Superwoman Mentality. I actually work with companies on their workplace wellness. Also, my goal is to spread wellness around the world, and I'm really passionate about our youth, so I do a youth wellness and life skills as well, because I noticed, with my pharmaceutical background, that too many people are masking and taking medications when it's really about living a healthy life, making those transitions as far as, nutrition and exercise and really taking time for themselves. Stress levels are high, work-life balance is off. So I really try to create the optimum program for, the people individually in order for them to live their best life. And I'm also a health contributor of a magazine. So health and wellness is what I do.
Well, super congratulations on everything that you're doing, Coach Melody, and I can't wait to hear more about your amazing story. And congratulations on becoming a best-selling author.
Well, thank you.
You are welcome. So next we have Dr. Michelle V. Knight.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me on the call. And I want to say thanks to Dr. Marcy. What a visionary. She's the type of visionary who helps you to lock arms with her whether you're ready or not, because the vision is so impactful and so tremendous. And so just a bit about me. I'm a former university professor. My PhD is in human development and family studies. And while I really enjoyed what I was doing there and impacting people, I fell to this urge, this calling to do something that took me outside the walls of an institution. So now my focus is on impacting health and impacting really a value-based life for both men and women. And I get to do this with my amazing business partner, Dr. Spencer Holman. He really created this value-based platform, and it's built on 10 life values. And so the first one is spiritual, and the very next one is health. So this project was absolutely a good fit for me. And so currently we help men to live excellent lives by implementing these 10 life values and using a supplement that's all natural, holistic. And I'm also in the process of creating a platform for women using these 10 life values also. And we're also going to have a supplement for women. They have been pounding down the door asking for that, so look out for that. But my chapter is called Courage to Continue. And this is based on my life. It's also based on the understanding that we all are on a quest for health and happiness in some way or the other. And because many things happen in life that move us away from that focus, that vision of going after with great passion that quest for health and happiness, we give up. And sometimes we never look back. And so Courage to Continue says, first of all, let's believe that health is accessible to everyone, and that what it's going to take to achieve our personal goals, which vary for each of us, is having the courage to continue and never give up on that search for your good health.
I love that. Well, super congratulations, Dr. Michelle Knight, and I can't wait to hear more of your story.
Great, thank you.
You are welcome. So last but not least, we have the contributing author, Stacey Brass.
Hello. Thank you so much for having us all here. And thank you. I have to keep thanking Dr. Marcy for bringing us all together and making this possible. So I am a certified health and life coach, And I am also a senior level certified yoga teacher. And I currently mostly work as a business strategist for creative entrepreneurs. So my background is as a 20-year yoga teacher here in New York City in the health and wellness space. And my journey to becoming a health coach first really was an extension of my interactions with so many people. And granted, I live in New York City, so I think that, you know, I probably get a very specific cross-section of highly stressed out people. But my experience of working with so many students over the years and so many teachers and individuals that I got to, work with one-on-one and that would come up to me after class really led me to wanting to become a health coach, because I really was seeing a disconnect between how people were taking care of their physical selves and how they were taking care of their mental selves, their brains, their nervous systems. And when I first became a health coach, it was because I really wanted to have more tools and more ways to really help people to not just kind of get by, but to really be able to take care of themselves. I then became a life coach because that actually I started to realize that was the most natural extension of being someone who also has been a teacher of philosophy and spirituality and neuroscience for so many years. My chapter is called How to Have a Great Day. And the way that this chapter evolved, or how it came about, was that I found out through speaking to many people and then from my own experience that many people didn't have any sort of ritual or routine or a way that they started their day in order to set themselves up for success. And I part of my story, which you'll read in the chapter, is that I was a child actress, and I was on Broadway when I was young, and I kind of grew up as a night owl. I think that's just very sort of typical of the performer life. And in my adult life, I started realizing that being somebody who preferred to sleep late and didn't really consider themselves a quote unquote morning person, that I really was lacking in having something that created some stability and a foundation for me to go out into the world and feel healthy and feel good and productive and energized. And so I slowly began to build in my yoga, the things I knew from yoga and Ayurveda, the science of life. And I created a morning routine that has basically turned me into somebody who really knows how to set themselves up to go out into the world and be able to kind of deal with whatever comes my way, because I've actually done what I need to do for myself in the morning. And so this chapter, I think it's going to really be a game changer for a lot of people, because I know how many people wake up in the morning with just enough time to, put their clothes on, grab a cup of coffee, eat on the go, feel harried and rushed. And this is going to offer people a new strategy, and not just tell you what to do, but what I really feel excited about sharing with people is that there's a why underneath these 5 great steps that I'm offering, and just explaining how if you really implement these simple things, you stand a better chance of moving into your day and being successful at it. So I'm really happy to share it with the world, and I'm very grateful to be on this call tonight. So thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. I'm excited to have you at the table, Stacy. So congratulations to all of you best-selling authors.
Yay! Thank you.
Yes, you are welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So now we're going to talk about how you all created your tips. We're going to talk about your tips that you created in your stories and how you created them. So we can start off with Dr. Marcy, and then we'll go from there.
I created my strategies really by, for me, I realized after reading actually these chapters, when I sat down to write, before I read, I found that I was actually
I drew a blank, which is very unusual for me in writing. I'm typically, because I'm such an open communicator, things pour out of me. And so I was really struggling. And then when the authors started submitting their chapters and I read through them, something sparked in me that really moved me to peel back another layer of myself. And what I discovered was the way that I relate to food has to do with how I was introduced to food as a child. And so one of the things for me, I love to exercise. I've never been one who didn't love to run, kick, punch, all this stuff, and I'm very fit in terms of, like, I don't have any health conditions or anything like that. But I've always struggled with, ever since, like, my metabolism has kind of slowed down at 49, I've been struggling with my weight, which is unusual for me. So it's having me to really think about why. And, of course, you know, they say that, you know, you can never outwork a bad diet. And though I don't eat horribly, I found that some of the ways that I relate to food is because of the way I was introduced to food as a child. And so rather than using food to nourish me and seeing it as this tool to heal my body, I actually just use it to fill me up. Maybe I'm just using it because I'm hungry or I'm bored or I'm grazing. And so what I was able to do was realize that I had to go back and understand how I was relating to food in order to change that dynamic. Because food, it's nutrients, right? It's life. And so what am I putting in my body? What am I expecting from my body that I'm not actually giving it? And so my tips are actually to help the reader think about their childhood, think about how they relate to food, think about how were they introduced to food? Do they understand what it does for them? And so just really asking some of these reflective questions to really get them to peel back a layer so that they're not just eating mindlessly, they're not just doing things just haphazard, but really starting to live that intentional life and hopefully changing some of the dynamics, not just for their health, but for the health of their children and grandchildren. Because most of the time they're being introduced to food I introduce food to my children, right? So I could be carrying some of that unhealthy habits forward without even realizing it. And so really the intention of it was, you know, taking back control. The battle for control is the title of my chapter. And this really, that control, trying to really have me understand that I don't have to be a slave to what was done in the past, that I can actually make these choices that serve me instead of hinder me.
I love that, Dr. Martin. Thanks for sharing and teaching us how to break those unhealthy habits. Because you're right. You know, we're taught, you know, how to eat these certain foods and why we, you know, introduced to our parents and, you know, siblings and, you know, those unhealthy habits. And it's time to break those habits. So thank you for sharing those strategies on how we can be better with that.
Absolutely. I'm learning myself. So you guys are along the ride. You're on the ride with me too. So I'm just thankful to, you know, be at a place where I can just be my authentic self, and so and to be surrounded with women who also have taken up the charge to also show up real, so that they can make a difference in other people's lives.
I love it. So next we have contributing author Ashley Murdoch, who is going to share with us her strategies that she discussed in her story.
Hello, everyone. So how this process worked for me is I really kind of took a step back and took inventory of my journey. So I wrote down a couple of different aha moments and a couple of mindset shifts that I've had throughout my life that have to do with how I perceive health, how I've attacked health, how I've attacked really developing a stronger sense of self and love for myself. And then from there, kind of putting together an amazing chapter where I really focused on telling the story of rewriting your health journey, because I feel like that's what I've done throughout my life as a millennial. I'm faced with social media, with the comparison game. There's a different diet or different challenge every week. There's tons of health insights in different magazines. People post on their pages. They claim that you can get abs in 3 days or do this 20-day juice diet and you'll be healthy and happy and love yourself. And so I think there were points in my life where I got caught up in what's called yo-yo dieting, where I would try every diet under the sun, from the lemon pepper diet to low carb to just everything. And there were moments where I would go off of the diet and revert back to my old ways and gain the weight back and then some. So I was really in this vicious cycle where I was trying to get healthy and happy through these diets and these quick fixes. And I had a huge mindset shift where I had to really stop and think, how is this diet culture serving me? And I realized that it's not. And I needed to take a step back and develop healthy habits that will lead to lasting change and not depending on this diet culture to really find the love for myself. And so my chapter, Rewriting Your Health Journey, gives women and men and children 5 tips and tricks to really focus on developing those healthy habits, to make that mindset shift, to identify what those habits are, and to make realistic habits that work with certain commitments and priorities. So just super excited that I'm able to share my story and to give women and men and children that advice, and really trying to understand, you know, a lot of times when you are on a diet, there's certain unrealistic expectations when it comes to having to juice for 10 days. Maybe you're a mom who has 3 kids and you're also going to school and you have a job. So thinking realistically about what actual changes you can make to really achieve your health and wellness goals. So again, super excited that Dr. Marcy reached out to me to be able to share my story, and I'm so excited to help as many people as possible rewrite their journey.
Now, I love that rewrite, teaching us how to rewrite our journeys, because that mindset shift is so important, right? Because everything starts with the mind, and making sure for our listeners that are listening that we set realistic expectations when we're putting ourselves on a diet. Yes. So thank you for sharing your story and your strategies with us to be able to set those realistic expectations, Ashley. Thank you. You are welcome. Next, we have author Debbie LaShawn, and she's going to tell us about her strategy.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, my chapter is really about my journey of self-discovery. So for me, it was really just getting quiet and then getting really authentic and transparent with my story. I really wanted to be completely open in the hopes that someone would read the story and potentially see themselves in the story, and that they were dealing with divorce and just kind of being hit with a few life obstacles as a result of it, financial situations and living arrangements having to change, and how does that affect children, and really just finding out who they are, which is what I had to do. In my story that I had my daughter at a fairly young age, and since the age of 18 have been wearing many different hats and never really took the time to explore or get to know myself. So my chapter really talks about how I took a step away from everyone and kind of had to dig into myself to figure out who it was that I was, so that if and when I was open for another relationship or that opportunity, or however we want to word it, presented itself, that I really was a complete person, and I didn't want to bring any baggage or anything else from prior relationships into the next. So my story just talks about how I healed completely, and that is the journey that I'm now bringing women on with me. I didn't really do any tips or tricks at the end of my chapter. What I did was a writing assignment, because I love to journal and I love to get my emotions out in writing. So I asked some prompts that people would be able to reflect on and then answer those questions as it related to themselves. And for me, it's not really a matter of what your relationship status is. It really is about, are you a complete or a whole person, and making sure that you present yourself in the best manner that you can for any relationship that you're a part of. So that's what my chapter is about.
I love that, Debbie. Self-discovery, right? That's so important that we are healthy and whole before we try to be in a relationship with someone else or, any type of relationship. So thank you for sharing your story and helping us be better. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley.
So, you are welcome. So next we have author Jody Jordan.
Thanks, Ashley. So I think my tips definitely came from the personal experience. Because I've been a medical clinician, being a PA for 20 years, I see patients with chronic disease every day. We see the obesity, the diabetes, the liver disease, the anxiety and stress. And then my lifetime struggle with obesity as part of the chapter growing up, and all the different diets that I tried and just simple nutritional things that I tried, and coming out of PA school and having high blood pressure and being overweight, I knew as a medical person that, kind of walk what you preach, and do the best you can. So life had happened and I did the best with wellness. But when I did the health coaching through the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, we know a lot more now about nutrition than we did 20 years ago. And IIN, just combining that holistic world with the medical world really blended nicely, especially in the GI practice, where you're talking about the gut and so much of your immunity is in your gut, and you really got to heal from the inside out, not just from a gut standpoint, but then, we all talk about the emotional side of things. So with Jody's Wellness Ways, incorporating the clinical aromatherapy and the health coaching, as a aromatherapist, as health coaches, we don't diagnose, we don't prescribe. And in my daily physician assistant practice, often it's not about prescribing, it's educating patients on why things are happening. And once they understand the process and how the body works and what they can do to change it, sometimes it's simple fixes. So that's where the tip came in my chapter, not only simple things from an aromatherapy perspective that just supports their overall health and wellness, but just the dietary and the daily tips that you can do, helping to rid life stressors. So I think I was kind of more from a clinician approach, but also just because that's what we see every day. And you walk down the street and you can see chronic disease every day. So it's really, really important, especially, as Marcy mentioned, with heart disease in women and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and cirrhosis and the American sugar addiction. It's really, really important if people want to live a healthy life to try to do some simple things to get a handle on it. And then, you dig deeper into their journeys and you are their coach along the side and hold their hand while they can make great strides in their health and go on to live a healthier, happier life. And, I think as part of this team, all of the health coaches, we all kind of have that same perspective is we're out there, and if we can help just one person, then this book has been an accomplishment. So thank you.
Yes, you are welcome. Amazing, amazing strategies, amazing stories. So thank you for sharing it and being a coach to help us because, life stresses, everybody has those and those chronic diseases. So thank you for helping us be better in that area to prevent those diseases.
Sure.
Thank you. So next we have Dr. Latina Epps Thomas.
Hey, so as a naturopathic doctor, I really deal with trying to help the total person, not just whatever physical illness or disease process that they have going on, but I look at the total body, the mind, the body, the emotional part, the spiritual part as well of a person. And from there, then, I'm able to educate them on some of the things that they need to do to really help to support their bodies to heal. My strategy was really focused on understanding that the way that you live in your bodies now will really create the body that you will have in the future. So, for example, your attitudes, your beliefs, your emotions, they all manifest themselves in either health or disease in your body. And the first step always begins with the mindset, how you think about things. So I started explaining things about myself and my thoughts and my journey from as a child, a biracial child, and growing up in an all-white community with an all-white school and how that really shaped a lot of the the things that I thought about myself, because, it's great being special and different, but when you're in high school, being special and different is not so great. So I talk about that and how some of the things that I went through kind of determined some of the healthy and unhealthy decisions that I made. Then I discussed various ways on how we can actually change our thinking, because quite frankly, we really do deserve the very best from ourselves, the very best from our food, and the very best from the people in our lives. And if none of that is serving you well, then you really do need to make choices and changes that are going to only bring in the best that is serving for you. Because remember, we're not trees. We can move. We can change those things. So those are the things that I talk about in my chapter.
I love that. And thank you for sharing your story, Dr. Latina. That's pretty amazing. So next we have Coach Melody.
Yes. Well, this book came at a great time for me, because I started Unwrap You in 2013 as a result of being a pharmaceutical rep. And I was always in awe to see people with bags of medication coming into the doctor's offices. And, it really is about lifestyle change in the way in which you are living your life. And as I started to reflect on all the people that I've met and all the people that I work with since starting a business in 2013, I hear everyone, I have multiple things to do. Everybody is very busy. They're stressed out. And not everyone is stressed out, but people are very busy and they have a lot going on. But a lot of times that can manifest as stress too, because we're not taking care of ourselves. So I kind of came up with releasing the superwoman mentality, because it's like, rah, rah, rah. When you talk to women, it's like, it's really like a badge of honor to be the superwoman. And you have to manage your husband or your relationship, your children, extracurricular activities, your own extra activities in life, your career, and then where are you falling into the scheme of it? A lot of times people aren't even making time just to do minimum things like work out or eat properly or cook. They're running through drive-thrus, and all this is manifesting in your body because you have to take care of it. And I just want, the reader to really understand that it is so important to take care of yourself. And someone said earlier, it's about creating a ritual in your day, because you have to fit yourself in. Because when you get finished and you're doing everything for everyone else, then you're not taking care of yourself. You get, lethargic, or you're tired, or you're not at your best. So one of the tips you have to read the book, everyone, but the one thing that I want to take away is everyone should at least make 30 minutes for themselves. 30 minutes a day, do that in the morning, whatever time is best for you. If you have, kids, or you have to release the pillow a little bit early, if that's meditation or a quick exercise in the morning, whatever that is, you can break them up and do it during lunchtime. Just being able to really take time for yourself. I think everyone deserves that. And sometimes we feel a little bad when we can't do everything. And, I got to do this. No, you have to take care of yourself first. So that's what I really want people to take away. And one of the tips that I had, that I think 30 minutes per day for yourself. And not just a few days a week. I tell people you don't eat 3 days a week. You have to take time for yourself every day, 30 minutes.
I love that for our listeners that are listening. 30 minutes a day, and I know I'm guilty of not taking time out. So, you're preaching to everybody, because I know these superwoman mentalities, most of us type A women have those. So thank you for sharing your story, Coach Melody, and helping us become better in that area.
You're welcome. And let me just tell you, I was that woman, so I'm talking from experience, too.
I love it. So Dr. Michelle Knight is next.
Hi, thank you again. My work as a life doctor, speaker, and business development director for A-Game, that herbal solution for men's health, all of what I do is built on the principle of what you value gets attention. Whatever you value is held in high regard, and it becomes deserving of your time and your energy and your resources. And also how you value yourself is what determines the decisions you'll make in life, particularly around your health. And so we help people to do the internal work. It's important to have an examined life. All of this is built on the examination of your life. And sometimes doing that examined work is so difficult that we shy away from it because it brings up things that we're not ready to face. It brings up things that are painful and we wish to bury. And if we do spend the time with it, that's where the healing happens. That's when we could really move forward and begin to make better decisions with our health and in really every aspect of our lives. And that's it's really the crux of where the courage to continue comes in, because now you're doing that very critical, important work on yourself. And so my chapter got based on the principles on which my work revolves, but also on the reflection of my life. Growing up in the Caribbean, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago originally, and moved to these great United States and was able to be bicultural and make these great comparisons around health and the quest for the fountain of youth. So my chapter talks about that from a historical perspective as human beings, how we have this quest for youth as we age, as we encounter different health concerns. We want that vibrancy. We want that beauty and the thing, that spark within us that's reflective from our youth. And as I reflected on growing up in what I called paradise, to me, the fountain of youth was everywhere. I mean, every fruit tree, all the holistic living possible, it was right there. Yet people didn't know how to utilize that well. And that continued over the ages. I continued over time to where now my people in the islands suffer from incredibly devastating chronic diseases. And one might wonder, how does that happen? How does that grow into such a major concern when that's paradise, or everything that one could need is available and accessible? And then I look at these great United States that we're blessed to live in, and there's also an abundance, but there's an abundance of everything, right? There's abundance of the fountain of youth and all the good holistic options available and all the wonderful things my co-authors just spoke about in terms of being able to be guided and coached with the greatest understanding and the newest technology. Yet, here, too, we see an abundance of chronic diseases and some major health concerns, particularly if we were to look at the world globally. And I saw that there is a need to educate people, to help them sort through all that's available to them. There's also an abundance of fast food here. There's an abundance of stress and demands upon our lives, both as men and women. And yet the quest, the search for health and happiness is a shared value. It's a shared desire that we all have, yet it seems to escape us. And so in this work of living an examined life and going through with the 10 life values, we help people to really get a sense of what's your relationship to your parents, to food, to religion, to community. We help people look at 3 important pillars: biology, culture, and environment, and the impact of those on one's life. And the courage to continue here really offers people some strategies that allow for this accessibility I'm talking about. It allows everybody to tap into some very simple universal laws of health that really govern all our lives. And I use the acronym START now, and I think that's really easy for someone to catch on to and remember. But so START now represents sunlight and temperance and activity, physical activity, and rest and trust in divine power, nutrition, oxygen, and water. These are available. There are natural laws of health that's available regardless of what part of the world you're in, regardless of your socioeconomic status. It's accessible and available, and we talk about the power of these things so that there are no limitations or barriers to really continuing the quest for good health and happiness. And when we talk about courage, the courage to continue, courage is really standing in the face of something that's potentially paralyzing, something that every indication says to you, don't do it, don't continue, just walk away, just let it be, whatever you're experiencing. But you realize that courage requires you to believe in yourself. It's embedded in the capacity to face our fears and do so with faith and not fear. And so we talk about the power of that, because without faith, there can be no courage. And as we look at each of our lives, we can identify times when we've had to display courage. So that's what my chapter focuses on. And these 8 universal life principles are in here to help everyone access the health that they're looking for.
Love that. And thank you for bringing awareness to, what we value gets our attention. So thank you for sharing your insight, Dr. Knight. Thank you. So last but not least, you are welcome. We have Stacey Brass. Stacey Brass. Okay.
Well, sorry, I was muted. I'm here. Sorry, I was muted. I gave a little bit of my tips, I think, during my first little introduction, but I'd love to share a little bit more about the how I came up with what I offer as in the way of tips in the chapter, which is that I really, really feel very strongly about every individual having a connection to their well-being that comes from not only physical health, but also to really help people understand the power of their minds and mindset, and to really also emphasize that having a connection to that which is greater, or the universe, or whatever ways that each one of us, feels the most connection to, in terms of that feeling that we are not just these human beings walking around planet Earth, working and making money and not really understanding, what it's all for. And so, my experience over my entire life was really being a creative individual, coming from a performing background, and really defining so much of what I've done, from being a performer to being a yoga teacher and now a coach, defining my sort of life purpose by really wanting to move people and really wanting to help people to feel a stirring inside of their hearts, and to be connected to their emotion. And what I noticed as a yoga teacher for so many years was this kind of funny backwards approach, I call it, to using things like yoga and meditation, which was started to become to numb out, or to kind of take a back seat. I started to notice that people would view relaxation or self-care practices as ways to kind of take themselves out of the world, or to try and avoid the things that stress them out. And my evolution from performing to yoga throughout my entire life really helped me to really see that this was something that I felt passionate about wanting to help people to actually use all of those tools that they were being kind of given randomly to be able to live in the world effectively. And that being able to have clarity and take action, even if it was something that you wanted to make a change about, which is a big part of what my story is about all the different ways that I've transformed careers. And I've done so many different things, but not because they were ever failures, but because I was able to sort of pivot and see that my next part of my journey should be moving in this direction. And I think that my ability to do that has come from all of these practices and teachings and awarenesses that I've built up over the years that really helped me to live in the world with clarity and take action. And so a lot of what my chapter evolved out of was sort of this this realization that I could provide people with simple tools. And there are 5. My How to Have a Great Day is 5 steps that really address, and I said this a little earlier, address the physical body and wellness, address the through the way of food and hydration, and then also movement, and then addressing our brains and our emotional selves, and really taking the time to feel connected to ourselves and the universe, and to do whatever work we need to do to really have a mind that is not always just sort of operating from a place of stress and where the lens is kind of like turned onto our thoughts, which are really just kind of trapping us in worry and anxiety and thinking about the past and the future. And to really be able to have a little morning routine that sort of puts all of that into perspective, so that when you go out into the world, you're not playing defense. You're not going out into the world and actually being so impacted by every little thing or everything that enters your senses or any person that annoys you or any interaction or conversation that may cause a little bit of conflict in you, or when things do stress you out or make you feel anxious, that you're not already starting your day at such a high, like at a 10, that just puts you over the edge. And so, is this my story? It is my story in that I think that this is something that I've been progressively working towards for my entire life. Because of the nature of the work that I've done, this is something that I've been able to be looking at consistently, over since I was in my 20s. And so that is what excites me about how I came up with these tips. This is a system that I put together using all of my experience in all of the fields that I've ever worked in, that I really think that any person, and I love that Dr. Marcy pointed out that this is not just for women, that it's for men and that it's for children. I really believe that if we can set our children up with habits and routines and things that help them to connect to themselves, and where meditations or gratitude journals or visualization or mindsets or having affirmation cards and learning how to breathe and knowing the importance of just moving your body, even if it's not just for high intensity cardiovascular exercise, but just simple things that we need as human beings in order to actually be operating at our optimal level, just to have our systems, feeling happy and nourished. That if we can all do that, and if we can especially introduce that to our children as young as possible, I think that we have a better chance of watching generations of people, evolve into being healthier and happier individuals, which can only, contribute to hopefully, saving our planet. So that's a little bit more about how I came up with my tips. My tips it's about like how you nourish your body, how you move your body, how you work with your mind, how you, essentially set yourself up so that you can be in this world and feel like an active participant.
Amazing. So as our listeners can see, we have, this is an amazing book, right? Amazing stories that everybody can relate to, men and women. It's nothing in this book that we probably haven't experienced or cannot learn from, right? So thank you, ladies, for sharing these amazing stories to help us be better, healthy, happy, and whole. So thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashley. This is amazing.
You are welcome.
Ashley.
So what I want to ask you guys is, what made you say yes to the project? Starting with Ashley.
Of course. So a lot of what I focus on with Successful in Pink and helping women is to develop those habits to live healthy and happy. So as soon as Dr. Marcy reached out to me, explained to me what the Health Coach Collective really was, and that the purpose and the goal was to help everyone live healthy and happy, I knew that that was a sign from God that this was an opportunity I needed to take advantage of, because it was very much aligned with my purpose and my mission. So again, just super excited to be a part of this opportunity and to help people be in the pink, which means to be in good condition and be in good health.
I love it. I love it. So next we have Debbie LaShawn. So tell us why you said yes to the project and what does health and happiness mean to you?
I said yes to the project just because I want to help. I know that that's my assignment in life. I know that that's my purpose and my passion. And so at this point, I'm just jumping in with both feet, and all that I do is about making a difference. And that's why I said yes to the project. As far as being happy and healthy, it goes back to me just being complete and happy and healthy within yourself. So it really goes back to the whole self-discovery journey and just making sure that you are presenting yourself in the best way possible, physical, emotional, and spiritual.
I love it. That's so important. So Jody, why did you say yes to the project, and what does health and happiness mean to you?
So I said yes because Marcy said, tell me your story, and I had a story to tell. And I think it was at that point in time, I was developing Jody's Wellness Ways and really had a chance to kind of share why I was getting into health coaching and how my personal experience could maybe help others. So, of course, we're all here to help people and to get all of our clients and friends and family on the road to health and happiness. So, and it just, gave me a chance to write a first chapter of my book. So, and this is a new thing for me. So I appreciate Marcy again for that. And then what health and happiness means to me, just to kind of echo off of what Debbie said, just finding yourself and growing through your life changes and, the curveballs that life throws at you, and then growing and, growing through your strengths and weaknesses. So, not everybody is going to look at health and happiness the same way, and it's going to be different for each person. So, to be healthy is to not necessarily have the perfect weight, but, maybe somebody who is overall feeling good in their body and making strides. So that's what, again, we're all here to kind of help everybody achieve goals and to just feel better inside, no matter what it means that they look like on the outside, but to be happy with themselves. So that's me.
I love it. So Dr. Latina Epps, why did you say yes to the project, and what does health and happiness mean to you?
Well, I said yes to the project because after an initial conversation with Marcy, I started thinking about, I've had this book inside of me for the past 3 years that needed to be birthed, and it just was not coming. And she came back to me again
the second time and said, "Are you ready?" And I said, "I don't even care what it is. Yes, like, what do I need to do?" And of course she was like, "I'm not stalking you." And I'm like, "Yes, you are. And it's okay because God has been stalking me, and I'm okay with that." And it really was just a matter of, as soon as she came to me, I was like, "There's no doubt about it. I have to be a part of this project, no matter what it is," because I truly believe that the reason that, you know, I went to school for all those years and the reason that I did all of the clinicals and everything like that was because this is my mission. This is my ministry. I am to be able to touch the world with a health message. And the only way that I can do that is to really get the message out to as many people at a time as I possibly can. One-on-one, it's going to be real hard because I don't have all that time. But having different platforms and different ways to do it, such as this project, will be able to help me get that health message out there. And then happiness, health and happiness, what does it mean to me? It really means really authentically living naturally inside of my body. That means being really true to me and what serves me well. And like I said before, I deserve the very best from myself. I deserve the very best from the food that I eat. In fact, I'm okay with every once in a while if you want a piece of chocolate, but guess what? That needs to be like the very best piece of chocolate that there is. It needs to be worthy of me eating it. I deserve the very best from the people in my life. That includes my family, my friends, my acquaintances. You know, and in all of those things, if it doesn't serve me, authentically me, then I can no longer have it in my life. And that's just something that I learned throughout this journey of living. And I'm by no means have I gotten to the destination yet. I'm still on this journey. I'm still learning just like everybody else. But if my story can help somebody else, then it was worth it.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Dr. Latina. Thank you for sharing your story. So Coach Melody is up next. Why did you say yes to the project, and what does health and happiness mean to you?
I said yes to the project. I authored a journal already in another book when I first started in 2013. But this was special to me because I love to write. It's very peaceful and relaxing. But also, I told you in the beginning, my objective is to spread wellness around the world. What better way than to write down what your vision, you know, what this process looks like, and be able to share it among these other 9 women, and also all the readers out there that are getting the book. So it was just kind of perfect. And then just transitioning on to me wanting to release kind of what I see. And it's really important. You know, that was important to me. So to be able to share my story was amazing and a great opportunity and good timing. Health and happiness to me is really, from a personal standpoint, it's just like really living stress-free, really being able to enjoy, you know, the birds chirping. I love to watch the sunrise and the sunset and take long walks and pray and meditate. Like, that is my ultimate. And being able to do what I want to do when I want to do it, that's what I love about entrepreneurship. You know, every day is different. It's not mundane. I'm not going through a routine. I'm just going to work, and I'm just doing this, and I'm doing that. I get to do just really unique things throughout my day and also serve others. So that's what health and happiness is to me, serving others and doing it authentically and living my best life.
I love that. And I love that you said serving others, because that's what it's all about. So thank you. Thank you, Coach Melody.
You're welcome.
So next we have Dr. Michelle Knight.
Yes, hi. So saying yes to the project primarily was Dr. Marcy, just because she's this incredible human being who has a soul for people and connecting people. And when we spoke, I met her, I felt her heart, I felt the vision. And because of that, and because of her, I said yes. And then there was a question of readiness. There was, as I build myself and my platform, where's the time and as I encountered different things, but it again came back to Dr. Marcy and community. And so being part of her community, being part of the community of powerful women, powerful co-authors here, really there's strength in numbers. And as we all encounter different things in life, be it challenges with our health or other aspects of our life, there's nothing like community and, people who really care. And at the same time, another reason I said yes is I was also building a community, but for men. And as I mentioned a couple times about the importance of men's health, men don't have as many options and outlets for community or for sharing what's going on with them. And so here I'm building a community with tools and information, and one of the tools helps them to increase vitality, energy, strength, and libido. And so men, once they hear that, they're all about the libido. And I'm saying, no, this is about your health and wellness first and foremost. And when men said to me, you saved my life, or this has saved my marriage or my family, I understood the power of tools and information and community. And so saying yes here allowed me to tap into what was really important to me, both on a personal and professional level. So, Dr. Marcy, I thank you tremendously.
Thank you so much, Dr. Knight.
Oh, my
Dr. Marcy
pleasure.
is amazing. We know that. I love her. So, last but not least, Stacey Brass.
Hi. So I'm going to echo what the other amazing coaches and women have said, which is that for me, I said yes very much because Dr. Marcy reached out to me. We've talked about this a little bit, like on in other chats. We didn't have any connection yet. We didn't have the same circle. We didn't have the same community. We were not friends on Facebook. Dr. Marcy had somehow stumbled across me and my page and had looked at my posts, and she reached out to me. And my first impulse was, who is this strange lady asking if I wanted to jump on a phone call? And I'm so glad that I did. So my first yes was, okay, sure, I'll talk to you, even though I don't know you. And we had, I remember that phone call and thinking, this was so awesome that this vibrant, wonderful, generous lady wanted to talk to me and told me how much she appreciated what I was sharing and my energy. And our initial connection, even though at that time I actually had a lot going on, and I was just in this very interesting time in my business. It was kind of starting to take off, and she just in that conversation, I thought, I can't pass this up. Even though I don't feel like I can see this right now, I cannot pass up this opportunity to be with this woman because she's invited me, and it felt like it was something that you don't say no to when, like, the universe sends someone to you. So that was my reason for originally saying yes. And the experience of being connected to a new community of women that I would never have met and been introduced to if it weren't for this project has been such a wonderful. It's made me feel like I have so many more avenues, more places, more people that I connect with, and just like what feels like my little bubble. We all have our little bubbles, and what does health and happiness mean to me? Well, first of all, when I was thinking, I always get to think while everybody else is talking, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about my idea, and I was thinking one really big thing for me is freedom. I really feel like health and happiness for me is really knowing that I have choice and that I have freedom, and this is something that I passionately want for everybody, for everyone that I can, be in contact with, that I can be in service to. I want to help people to break free of whatever they feel keeps them from being able to, make changes that they want to make, or that to kind of like shift and be doing the things that are the most important to them, to do the work that they love, to be able to live lives that feel that they're fulfilling what they know is their sole purpose. And so health and happiness for me, I'm very grateful that I feel like that's what I get to do, and that's the life that I'm living, which is not perfect every day, but for me, knowing that I can take care of myself, that I can, eat the kind of food that I know makes me feel good, and provide and get to do the work that I absolutely love, which is to just be in total service all day long to the people that I work with. So I want that for everybody. It pains me that there are people that walk around this earth, and especially where I have more impact, which is, with the people I can reach, feeling that they're stuck and feeling that they actually cannot make changes and choices that may help them to have a happier and healthier life.
I love it. So thank every author for sharing their amazing stories tonight. And before we go, I would like our final words from our visionary author, Dr. Marcy Ross.
I'm just excited. I think you can tell from the women that are on this project, just how passionate we are about helping. And so I'm just looking forward to all the readers who are going to be, moved by this and changed just from us showing up. And so I'm looking forward to the next step and what this brings for even the authors. I wish them nothing but continued thriving and prospering and just getting to know themselves so that they can continue to share their story and to help other people. And I'm just so thankful to you, Ashley. This has been amazing. We certainly appreciate your time. I mean, I know it's a lot of us, but just how thoroughly you've been, asking us these questions and really, pouring into us so that we can pour out what is inside of us. So thank you so very much for this opportunity.
You are welcome. And Dr. Marcy, you are amazing. As everyone has already stated, I mean, she is amazing. So, let's just commend her again for just walking with this vision and bringing other people with her to the table. So thank you, Dr. Marcy.
Thanks, Ash.
You are welcome. So how can they purchase the book? Can they go on Amazon? How can the listeners purchase the book?
All of the authors have the book available. You can reach out to them personally on their various websites or through social media for sure. And just, whichever author, I know many of them have connected or touched you. So if you want to do a round robin and just ask them how to best have them, be contacted, that would be great.
Awesome. So, Ashley, will you please tell us quickly how we can follow you on all social media platforms?
Yes, ma'am. Everything is Successful in Pink for Instagram, Facebook, and then you can visit www.successfulinpink.com to purchase your copy today.
Awesome. Debbie LaShawn?
My website is debbielashon.com. On social media, I am Debbie LaShawn. On Facebook, I am Coach Debbie LaShawn, but everything is pretty consistent.
Awesome. Jody Jordan?
For me, it's Facebook for Jody's Wellness Ways and jodyswellnessways.com.
Awesome. Dr. Latina Epps Thomas?
For me, it's alnhealthandwellness.com, as well as on social media, it's ALN Health and Wellness.
Awesome. Coach Melody, how can we follow you on all social media platforms?
My quickest response is on Instagram, Facebook, it's Coach Melody, and then LinkedIn, they're all Coach Melody. And then you can go to my website, which is unwrapu.com, and that's unwrapu with a YOU.com.
Awesome. Dr. Michelle Knight?
Hi. So people can find me on Facebook. It's Michelle Knights or Dr. Michelle Knights. and connect with me there. You can also go to our online store, A Game for Men, that's FOR men.com, and you'll be able to pick up the book there as well.
I love it. And last but not least, Stacey Raz. Stacey?
Sorry, I keep muting myself. My website is actually StaceyBrassRussell.com. So my name is spelled StaceyBrassRussell. On Facebook, I am the same, Stacey Brass Russell, and my business page on Facebook is Stacey Brass Russell Coaching. So through any of those places, you can send me a message. Through my website, there's a connect button that you can shoot me over a message requesting the book, and you will hear back from me right away.
Amazing. So for all of our listeners, please follow these amazing authors and purchase their book. They are doing some amazing things. They're trailblazers. So super congratulations again for the authors of the Health Coach and Anthology. Congratulations, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashley.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
You are welcome, and thank you for coming to the table. I look forward to bringing you all back again. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a great night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Have a great night. Thank you.
So much. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.